The most terrifying places in the world. An Italian city that practices magic and sorcery. The island of dolls in Mexico. The haunted hotel in Colombia is the best for suicide. The island of snakes in Brazil. The catacombs that make your body tremble in Peru. There are many places around the world that are considered the most terrifying places, which raise widespread controversy, and we often hear about the most terrifying places in the world, but few of us have tried to approach these places or even tried to get to know them. And for that reason, this report takes us on a quick trip to get to know the most terrifying places in the world, including the island of dolls in Mexico and the island of Brazil inhabited by snakes. The island of dolls in Mexico. One of the most terrifying places in our country is the island of dolls. This island gives even the bravest person in the world. If you dare to visit it, you will be watched by more than 1,000 dolls hanging from trees during the tour. The name of the island of dolls comes from ancient times to place children's dolls on its trees to honor the spirit of a little girl who died in the town under mysterious circumstances. Over time, the island has become a source of terror for the townspeople due to the deformed dolls that have been beheaded or have lost their eyes and become terrifying in appearance. The Mexican legend says that the dolls move their heads at night, and some residents have heard their whispers inviting them to visit the island. In 2001, the body of a man named Don Julian, the only resident of this island, was found floating on the surface of the water in the same spot where he saw the specter of the drowned girl half a century ago. No one knows exactly how and why Don Julian died. Some farmers and residents near Don Julian Island have gone on to spread strange stories about the island's dolls. They said that they look at them strangely as they pass by in boats opposite the island. Some of them swore that the dolls were whispering to each other. Tourists are invited to celebrate magic and sorcery in the Italian city of Colobraro. In the Italian city of Colobraro, magic is much stronger than bad luck. This is the idea of a new celebration organized by the city of Colobraro in Italy, where tourists are invited to travel to the city and dispel the reputation associated with it in relation to with magic. It is a journey between magic and fantasy within the 10th edition of the Dream of a Night in That Country event, organized by the city of Colobraro in the Matera province on Fridays during the month of August, according to the Italian ENSA agency, from August 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th. The city receives tourists and visitors to make fun of superstitions, magicians, sorcerers, spellmakers, merrymakers, and priests, according to the city's mayor, Andrea Bernardo. Plague Island in Italy. It is considered a quarantine place, housing plague victims and a mental hospital, all on the small island of Poveglia in the Venice Lagoon in Italy, and has been used for unpleasant purposes over the years. In fact, many people were burned and buried there during the Black Plague epidemic, and it was used as a hospital for mental and infectious diseases and those infected with the plague, and thousands of human victims were thrown into it, including children and infants. More than 160,000 people died on this island Chochilla Cemetery in Peru. The world's cemeteries are terrifying and full of dark legends. One of the most terrifying places in the world is the Chochilla Cemetery. According to the Spanish newspaper Español, it is a desert area in the Ica province of Peru, and the visit becomes even more sinister, not only because grave robbers have scattered some of the human remains throughout the area, but because many of the tombs have been left open, and pre-Inca skeletons watch you from their eternal resting places in the fetal position and wrapped in funeral cloth. Would you dare to take a walk under the watchful eye of the decrepit mummies lying in their graves looking up at the stars? Humberstone Ghost Town in Chile. For many years, the inhospitable Atacama region housed a small population around a nitrate mine, where men, women, and children were exploited to death during extraction, decomposing, and wrapped in stories of supernatural events. Humberstone is a ghost town, declared a World Heritage Site that very few dare to visit. If you walk its streets, you will be able to see the decline of a city that at the end of the 19th century boasted wealth and light, and some of the iconic buildings such as the theater, the church, or the hotel still stand. But be careful. They say that the voices are audible, and you can feel the presence of the miners who died for that white gold. It is undoubtedly a scary place, only for horror lovers. It is considered one of the most terrifying places in the world. Grand Hotel Vienna, a terrifying hotel in Argentina, the most terrifying places in the world, located in the most mysterious strategic corners of the world. The Grand Hotel, wrapped in ghost stories and myth, this hotel is considered one of the places with the most paranormal activity in all of Latin America. It was built in the 1940s as a luxury hotel, and it is believed that it was even a refuge for the Nazis and for Adolf Hitler himself. Today, it is a museum, and many visitors claim to have seen apparitions, such as the appearance of the former head of security, or women standing by the windows of the rooms, or girls running through the corridor. The Haunted Hotel in Salto, Colombia. The ghostly Hotel Salto, El Refugio del Salto, located in a rocky abyss near the Tequendama Falls, is said to have been a favorite place for suicide bombers to kill themselves. Legends surrounding the hotel say that many visitors have seen ghosts or heard destructive screams coming from inside or around the hotel, perhaps from suffering souls who cannot rest in peace. Today, it is a fully restored house museum that you can visit and tour, as well as enjoy some of the beautiful exhibits. The chilling catacombs of San Francisco, Peru. Is there anything more terrifying than catacombs? Beneath the chapels of the San Francisco Church in Lima, a network of narrow labyrinthine passages provides access to underground burial vaults where skull, leg, fibula, and thigh bones dating back to the 17th century can be seen. In these cellars are the remains of nearly 25,000 Franciscans. It is a mysterious and dark path that also takes you to a conical ossuary 10 meters deep. Throughout the tour, you can feel a strong energy inside those walls. Do you dare to visit this underworld of ghosts, skulls, and skeletons that are considered one of the most terrifying places in the world? Snake Island in Brazil. Although the island is very beautiful and quiet, it is inhabited by a large group of poisonous and deadly snakes, up to 4,000 snakes, especially the golden snake, which is responsible for 90% of all deaths from snake bites in Brazil, most of which are due to this terrifying island. The island is devoid of any kind of human life. Even the Brazilian Navy prevents citizens and tourists from visiting it, except for a few scientists who need special approval. The snakes that occupy the island reach a length of about 2 meters and secrete a dangerous poison that can kill 2 people at once. Thanks to its rapid effect,